I'm going to be showing you how we prepare our zipper before attaching it to our dress. So I've got my invisible zipper here. Now we need to unzip it all the way to the bottom and flip it over. So now I've got the bottom of the zipper, the back side of the zipper facing me. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to get our iron and put it on the synthetic setting, and then we're going to unroll the zipper and get those teeth flat against your table. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hold these here, and I'm going to get my iron, and I'm going to just iron it gently all the way down. We don't want to hold it there too long because we don't want the zipper teeth to melt. I'm going to go as far as you can with the zipper here. And then as you can see, it lays a lot flatter than this one does. And so you repeat that with the other side of the zipper. Okay, now we've got one side of our zipper attached to our dress. We need to attach our other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our dress, flip it over, so you've got right sides together now. And then you're going to take your side of your dress, flip it over so the right side's facing you, and then you're going to grab your zipper, fold down the top right to where that zipper stop is that we just did in the previous step on the other zipper. We're going to pin that down, and then we're going to take our zipper and start pinning it to our dress. Make sure you're lining up the teeth with your basting stitch, and then we're going to start pinning. I'm going to twist it a little bit here so I can line it up the right way. So we're going to start pinning our zipper to the other side of our dress. We're going to do it all the way down, just making sure that you're lining your teeth up with your basting stitch. We're going to pin all the way down as far as you can. Again, I like to use several pins just to make sure that it doesn't slip whenever I'm sewing it. And all the way down. To the very bottom. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to sew it on just like we did the previous step. Now we're ready to start pinning our invisible zipper onto our dress. I already have my side seam serged all the way down, and then I also have my basting stitch 3/8 inch away from the edge. I'm going to use that as a guide on where I'm going to be putting my zipper. So first what we're going to do is we're going to flip our zipper right sides facing down, and then we use this as a guide as which side we're going to be sewing. So right sides facing, so the right side of your dress and the right side of your invisible zipper are touching, and so that way we can know which side of the zipper we're going to sew first. So we're going to work on this one. And so now I'm going to take this side, and you can see here I've got the top tab here that stops the zipper. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that right at that stopping point, and I'm going to pin it. We don't want that to stick up on our dress. So I've got that pinned now. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to put right sides together. We're going to line up our teeth with our basting stitch here. So we're going to start at the very top, and then we're just going to line up the zipper teeth with that basting stitch and pin all the way down. I like to use lots of pins because I don't want it to slip when I'm sewing it. And so you just pin all the way down until you hit the bottom of your zipper. We're making sure that our zipper is, the teeth are facing down. And you pin as far as you can down until you hit your actual zipper here. So once we're done pinning, we can take it over to our machine and make sure your invisible zipper foot is there. And then we're going to sew it right along the edge of your zipper. I'm going to sew that and then okay, so now we're here at the machine. I've got my invisible zipper foot here, and then I've got the teeth right inside the groove on my invisible zipper foot. So we're just going to sew right next to our zipper teeth. And make sure your zipper teeth are right in that groove on your foot. That way it'll sew right next to it without actually sewing onto the teeth. So we're just gonna go slow here, taking our pins out as we go. Just make sure you're staying right in line against that groove in your zipper teeth. Then it gets a little tricky when you get to the bottom. So you're gonna sew as far as you can. You're not gonna be able to go to the very, very bottom, but just make sure you go as far as you can. And then once you feel like you can't go any farther, you make sure that you back stitch to make sure we secure that zipper in place well. We're going to flip our dress right sides out, and we're going to test out our zipper to make sure that it goes up nicely, which it does. And see, now you've got an invisible zipper. And now we've got to finish closing the bottom of our dress. So after checking to make sure your zipper works properly, we're going to turn it back to inside out. And now we're going to line up our raw edges and pin those here. And so where it gets a little tricky is right here with the end of the zipper. So make sure your zipper is all the way up at the top. You can see my zipper's here, the top of my zipper. And so now what we're going to have to do is we're going to pull this out a little bit and then make sure that all your side seams are matched up nicely. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to start right here. You can see where my stitch ended with when attaching my invisible zipper. We're going to put our regular zipper foot onto our machine and start right here. Be sure to back stitch and then sew all the way down to the bottom, and make sure you're keeping the 3/8 inch seam allowance. Okay, so I've got my dress over here on my machine. I've got my regular zipper foot attached. And now what we're going to do is we're going to sew 3/8 inch all the way down to the bottom of our dress. So we're going to start right where our stitches ended when we attached our zipper. So, and if you can see, you can also use your basting stitch as a guideline also. So when you start sewing, make sure that you back stitch. And so now we're going to just sew along right here with your basting stitch. Using the basting stitch as my guideline of where my 3/8 inch is. I'm going to sew all the way down.